In my introduction video at the very end, I stated we're going to discuss a manga, which is dearest to my heart. The story is, Komatta Toki, Niwa, Hoshi, Kike are also known as Listen to the Stars When We Are in Trouble. Before I begin, I will state this on every episode. I do not endorse, nor do I condone the use of online manga readers, online fan subs, etc. If you do use these to access any aspect of your I would implore you, please purchase these mediums to support the artists and the companies that produce them. I cannot remember exactly when I discovered this channel. If I had to guess, I would say it was around the late 2005 into 2006, and I have been enthralled with the series ever since. Spanning over 26 volumes, the main thread of the story I would say is a typical romance type of story, but more of a budded romance for friendship over time. The manga of the series is a Miyuki, and she has written various different stories, which I'm sure from these videos I will also be discovering here tomorrow. However, I don't really want to sound extremely analytical about the subject, as I wouldn't want to bore you to tears, and I can be quite anal sometimes. Let us focus on my views on how I think it should be in your recent list. The story follows two main characters, Takara Fujishima and Kiyomi Hosaka. And at first glance, you would think these two characters are polar opposites of one another. Here you have the brooding stoic Kiyomi Hosaka, which the name it they strike fear into the guys of their high school, as if messing with Kiyomi would turn the entail pardon my French, ass whooping. Yet if you picture Takara, you get a sense of weakness and frailty. But Takara would be the one dude you would want to mess with, beat up and bully within high school. However, if you did attempt to do this, you would seriously begin to regret your decision. Why? Well, simply put, Takara can hold his own and is not afraid to show a force to be reckoned with. This aspect of their nature and outwardly appearance is what sets the relationship from growing and forming. One key example of this, and before I go on, I will interject some mundane details. During 1997, when the Tamagotchi was a very popular toy in Japan, within the very first pages of Chapter 1, we get a glimpse into how the relationship begins to form with great humor. During the open ceremonies of the freshman year of high school, Kiyomi is playing with a Tamagotchi and looks at Takara sitting next to him. Kiyomi states along the lines that his pet was similar to Takara, which just infuriates Takara, but what really sets him off is when Kiyomi learns of his first name, which means precious treasure in Japan, and you can bet Kiyomi makes fun of this aspect of Takara. A whole can of trouble begins to brew during the ceremony. Takara's action results in him being expelled from the ceremony. You would think that this action would be the only troubles that these two faced. However, I guess you can say it takes a cake when Takara and Kiyomi discover not only are they fellow classmates, but that these two are also dorm roommates. For the various novels of the series, this will and have caused issues not only for Takara and Kiyomi, but their fellow dormmates as well. Anywho, we later learn, early on within the chapter, that Takara has lost many precious people in his life. His mother, grandfather, and ultimately he loses his grandmother as well, which the latter was very painful for Takara, especially since Takara would get into many bouts during junior high. He would promise to his grandmother he would forever become a good boy and not cause problems for anyone ever again. I apologize, I get me teared up thinking about it. Anyway, this promise would change Takara's personality, one that was of a carefree nature, into one that needed to do his best to be the perfect image. He expected his grandmother would admire him after leaving her after her death. Upon discovering that he is to be roommates with Takara, Kiyomi berates Takara in earshot, claiming, "Why do I have to stay with him when he lives so close to the dorm?" and other issues of this nature. Kiyomi at the time didn't realize the issues Takara experienced until he noticed Takara's memorial plates of his mother, grandfather, and grandmother, which will be discovered later on in the chapter. Aside from this, we meet other classmates of Takara's and Kiyomi's, and in my personal opinion, we discover one of the cutest creatures of the story, which should have been introduced more because I love ferrets, and that is Sakura, which Takara mistook Sakura for a rat when she climbs into Takara's clothing and a playful exchange scene occurs, much to Takara's shock. In the cafeteria arena scene, Takara learns of Sakura, who she really is, and we also discover the dorm room leader is also Kiyomine's cousin, Reichi Kashiwagi, who teases Kiyomine for the series, and within the cafeteria scene, he hints at someone named Ayako in a teasing manner. Throughout within this chapter, we learn that Ayako is actually Kiyomine's older half-sister, which Takara stupidly teases Kiyomine while having a sister complex. This ticks Kiyomine off, and a fight between the two break out. Reichi and his second-in-command scolds Kiyomine after Takara has an accident which results in a head injury. During Takara's recovery in the dorm room, Kiyomine discusses his displeasure of having to stay with Takara and how he can't stand Takara's face. Takara overhears this conversation and storms out the room. This is when Kiyomine learns of the circumstances surrounding Takara and is choosing to reside in the dorm room. Outside, Takara encounters Sakura in the tree and tries to retrieve her from the tree, to which Takara loses his balance and falls from the tree. Surprisingly, Kiyomine there to catch him from falling, and a cute scene ensues. Takara and Kiyomine make up after the fight, and the chapter ends shortly thereafter. In my opinion of this chapter, it's full of humor, dramatic scenes, and good-looking characters this time. Yeah, I know what captivated me to read this chapter and become so involved in the series is a Miyuki storytelling artwork, which I'm sure, if you give this series a shot, a chance, you will not be disappointed. Well, that's it for this video. I didn't want to get a full series synopsis, and that would take way too much time and just not be the point of this video. This video's point is to make you want to read the series, make you go out there and read the series, and ultimately, I hope, purchase the series to support the artist. I thought best to discuss the first chapter of the story and give you all a look into the series. My next video, I think it would be best if we discuss and take a different approach and do a character portrait of Takara Fujishima.